Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome to the Unpopular Party hosted by me, Party Next Shore. This channel has went through so many revamps, but this one's gonna stick. If you haven't seen, my TikTok has really gone viral lately for my unpopular opinion. And I know some of them been asked for like YouTube videos, and I'm like, it's coming. This was a reaction channel, but I thought about it. I was like, I could just put like longer opinions, thoughts, recaps, whatever on my YouTube page. So I'm known for my unpopular opinion, and my name is like Party Next Shore. And I wasn't like considered the popular one growing up. I was like, the unpopular party. Like, my mind is genius. It's so like, I just thought the name was cute. It'll be perfect for like podcasts and stuff that's coming out soon. You know, stay tuned, stay tuned, stay tuned. But we're here to talk about a show that I've been binge watching. And my friend was watching this and I was like, oh, the show is called 20-somethings on Netflix. Basically, it follows a bunch of 20-year-olds that were casted to move down to Austin to follow their dreams and find themselves. Almost put a saw me on there. So in this video, what I like to do, I like to break down each character because I have a lot of thoughts about them, provide my opinions, my thoughts, and yeah. Also, this is spoiler alert. It's gonna be some spoilers in here. If you have not finished watching it, go watch it and then come back to this video, okay? If you haven't already, make sure you like this video. It pushes my video through the algorithm and give me a thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. Without further ado, let's get started with the breakdown of each character. Break down. Sit it down. Y'all don't know that. Y'all don't know where I care. So I have my notes. So let's get into it. It's going in no particular order. This character I got is Ish. How did I forget to pronounce this girl's name? And I just watched the show. Anyway, she's 24, same age as me. She's a fashion designer. Basically, her goal for coming to Austin is like to get her fashion brand out there, get more stores to take in her design and stuff like that. Her parents is helping her. Like, I think they invested into this. So it's really big if she like gets some people to like take her clothes into the boutique. So she comes onto the show like real, you know, quirky, real energetic. I thought she was cool. And she was liking one contestant named Bruce, in which I'll get into his back. But you know, they had a little flirtatious relationship, but then she ended up in a relationship with another cast member. And they pretty much dated throughout the duration of the time there. And her clothing brand ended up doing good in Austin. She sold a couple pieces. I forgot the store name, but the store wanted to take more pieces of her. So she ended up moving down to Austin. I liked her. She was refreshing. Next, I have Abby. So Abby is 26 and she's the bisexual one that just went through a divorce. Her goal into moving to Austin is really to find herself. She's originally from Houston, so it's nothing but like a drive between Austin and Houston. Her sister dropped her off. What I got from her is that she wanted to have the spotlight a lot. I don't want to call her an attention seeker, but she does seek validation, which she did say that. For example, when one of the cast members, Kiki, he was telling them how he was gay and she was like, oh my gosh, I don't mean to stop you, but I'm bisexual. Oh my gosh, yeah. And it's like, no, girl, calm down. Because if I'm coming out, we not coming out. I'm coming out, you come out on your own time. You do that later. This is my moment, okay? I'm pretty sure she didn't mean nothing bad by it. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt, but it's just like, that's how it could come off, you know? We also see her trying to become a bartender. You know, she said she was broke, so she's trying to become a bartender. I think towards the end of the season, she finally did get a bartender job, but at first, she just, she couldn't make a drink to save her life. And the cast member was like, this tastes disgusting. So she did hook up with a cast member. They entangled. You know, I want to make sure I'm correct. You know, YouTube, they be, you know. So the way it started off, her and Kamari, I'll get into Kamari later, but her and Kamari, they pretty much had this flirtatious relationship. It seemed like she had a little flirtatious relationship with the girl I previously stated. They was having like a little whatever, but you know, they just turned out to be good friends. But with Kamari, they did entangle. And it did kind of cause like some issues. I know she kept texting this man to have a talk. I was like, if I see one more talk of them in the backyard, I swear. But whether she wanted to admit it or not, I think she did start to develop a lot of feelings for him. You know, after they did entangle, you know, she went to go get ice cream. She tried to kiss him in the middle of the street and he kind of like heard her. And I was like, oh. And what's crazy is she was the main one saying like, you don't mess where you eat it. She wouldn't hook up with one and she hooked up with a cast member. But she formed a really good friendship with another cast member named Raquel. They had one disagreement. That's when she told Abby like, hey, I really like, you know, the new person. And Abby like persuaded him and was like kissing him and stuff like that. So, but when they're making up, I feel like Abby goes into victim mode. Throughout my life, whenever I see people who, when they did something wrong, the first thing they do is like, start crying and just be like, you know, I don't blame you if you don't like me. You know, I am a messed up individual. You're right. You're going into victimize yourself. Like, I get it. I feel bad for you, but it's like, you did me wrong. You know what I'm saying? Just take accountability. I don't need the tears. I don't need all the extra. Just take accountability. Acknowledge the errors of your ways. Let's see if we can move on. She recognized that she called out things with the dude. His name is Adam, by the way. I'll get into him later. And we finally see her go on a date with a girl. And she was acting real shy. I don't think she was that into the girl, but we finally see her go on a date. I feel like I watched this girl go through puberty. Like, baby, we went through the highs and the lows with her. But I still ultimately liked her. Brought something to the show worth watching. And I was invested into her storyline. And she had a storyline. Like, from the moment she walked in, from the moment she walked out. The girl gave us something to write, talk, something about. Next person on my list, I have Bruce. So Bruce is 23. He's from South Carolina. It's a country boy, kinda. He's a Southern boy who works in insurance with his dad. So the reason he's coming to Austin because he wants to find a better opportunity in what he wants to do with his life. He doesn't really like doing insurance. So in the beginning, Bruce and Isha was flirting. Kinda had like some seeds planted, like maybe they was feeling each other, but they decided it was better off his friend. But after that, Bruce pretty much got a really good job offer with the baseball. I forget the job off the top of my head, but it was really nice. He pretty much got the best job out of all the candidates there. Unfortunately, Bruce did not take the job and he actually left to go back home. I was really rooting for Bruce in a sense of he should have took the job. Cause like that is a once in a lifetime opportunity. And I get it, like, you know, you miss home. You know, he got down there to Austin and realized like this ain't really what he want. But I don't want him to grow up and think like, dang, what if I would have took it? What if I would have stayed in that position? Because he said he don't like insurance. So you're going back home to do insurance with your dad? Like, I don't know. I didn't want him to go home and then like a week later he realized, dang, I should have took that job. Like, you working with a baseball team? Come on now. Personally, I would have took it, but that's just me. He did what was best for him, so I hope it paid off in the long run. Next, we got Kiki. So Kiki is 28 years old, and he's coming to Austin to pretty much learn how to be gay. He's never really been open with his sexuality. He's very inexperienced. Never kissed a guy. I don't think he's ever had a boyfriend. He's very inexperienced. So he pretty much got along with everybody. I enjoy seeing him on the screen. But I felt bad because, like, I kind of knew that he was gonna move too fast and it was gonna happen the way it happened. It's unfortunate. I think us as the viewers, we like knew, like, you can hope for like a happy ending, but sometimes you just know how these things are gonna end. He met a guy, they went out on a date, but I think the guy already told Kiki, like, you know, I'm just looking for a friend, I'm not looking for nothing. So, you know, when people say stuff like that, those are warning signs. You gotta pay attention to that. That lets you know, like, okay, my expectations going forward, it's not much, because he already said, like, I'm not looking for much. But he got stood up when he went to the club. The dude didn't come, and I was just thinking in my head, I was like, oh my God, I wish I was there to tell him, like, you in this place full of all these other men. Forget that one. That's his loss. I would have wanted him to realize, like, it's not so much if he liked you. Did you even like him? No, this is someone you just met. You had an opportunity in Austin, Texas to meet someone incredibly new. He's just the first of many. If it didn't work out with him, it's gonna work out with someone else. That's the advice. I don't know. Like, I was like, Kiki did end up meeting somebody at the club. And that guy gave him his first kiss. And in the back of my mind, I was happy for him. And I'm like, he about to have his first heartbreak. They nowadays is ghetto, okay? Kiki, he was ready to, like, he was like, okay, we just kissed. You're my boyfriend. You're my man. Not saying that the dude had ill intentions. I don't think he was looking to get into some serious. I felt bad for Kiki when he got that call and was crying. Oh, I was like, I know. I was, I was just like, I know. Come here. Because we all done been there. Woo! But I hope, like, through that process, it just ripped the Band-Aid off, and now he's more open to just, like, putting himself out there and understanding, like, every person you meet is not going to be the one. That's why you casually date. And I feel like dating has been taken out of this generation. Like, we don't know how to date. We just find one person, get attached to them, and hope it works out. And, like, no. You have the power. You have options. I was really sad when his grandma died. Yeah. That made me cry. I love how Bruce was there for him to help him out. Next, we got Michael. Michael is the comedian from LA. He's 23 years old. He wants to get into stand-up comedian. But Michael has some trials. He has some trials. To me, I don't think Michael was just, like, not funny. I feel like he's a naturally funny guy. But being a stand-up comedian, that's, like, hard. Like, I'm a naturally funny person, but I wouldn't do stand-up because I feel like that's a little bit more difficult. And his jokes wasn't bad. It's just that his timing was off. He just wasn't confident up there. You can tell that he was, like, awkward, shy, or just wasn't too sure. Because if you're gonna tell a joke about how you can't be at the park and try to make it fun, you gotta hit with that. That stuff you gotta just like, And if not, you know, you gotta follow up with something like, okay, I don't give a. Like, if he would have brought me to like one of his comedy shows, ain't no way I would have just let them not laugh. I would have been, ha. Y'all gonna laugh today. Cause like, don't nobody want to have that feeling or not, you know. It was revealed that Michael was a little inexperienced. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a beautiful thing. Especially at 23, hold on to that. Quail was liking him, but then, you know, she was like, I can't do nobody that's, you know, inexperienced. Understandable. And like, he started talking to this like 50, I want to say she was 50-year-old woman. What happened to her? He was talking, he gave her a little kiss goodbye. And then he just moved on. I guess it didn't work out. But he did end up getting into a whole relationship with Isha. He even went as far to buy like one of her little items at the boutique. And that was like $400. And he was already saying he was broke. So now he was going through some difficulties. He didn't know if he wanted to stay or go back home. It was, you know, a rough patch. Isha was crying. You know, they had their little tribe. I think he ended up staying in Austin. So next on my list, I have Natalie. She's 26 from Miami. I really liked her. She was like everybody's friend on the show. She started forming a really great friendship with Abby. Abby and Kamari. Like Natalie and Kamari, they was like this. She got a job at like a little coffee shop. And I think her goal was like the rest of them, just to find herself more. I mentioned earlier, her and Abby, they kind of had like a little, not necessarily an argument, but just like she was feeling some type of way towards Abby. Like Natalie expressed to Abby, the new person here, I really like him. And like, you know, she was trying to do her little flirt thing. And here Abby comes because like she said, she needs to feel male validation. Like she needs to feel that need from the male glaze. But yeah, it was interesting to look at Natalie because, you know, she was inexperienced in a way. Like, it was a lot of inexperienced people on this show. They had to tell her a lot of things. Like, this one guy sent her a picture of, you know, and they had to tell her, like, no, that's not okay. She also met a guy off Hinge, in which Hinge must have been sponsoring this show because that's what they was dating on. Yeah, she met a guy through Hinge. She got stood up. I was like, dang. Then she met another guy, and he actually showed up. He came to the roller skating party with her. They was vibing, and they ended up, you know, entangling. He ended up ghosting her, so... yeah, and like I said earlier, when you first started dating, the first few people you meet, like, of course you think they the one because you don't know no better. As time grow on, you learn how to date and not become so attached. So I hope she did the same. And at the end of the show, her and Kiki agreed to move in together and get an apartment in Austin. I'm not sure if they still there though. I'm not sure. Next on my list, I got Raquel. She is 26 years old. She's a graduate of FAMU. So she starts off liking Michael, like I said earlier, but she found out he was, you know, inexperienced. So she was like, But when she popped up on the screen, you know, with this fro, with this look, you know, I'm like, she's gonna be the main character. The girl vanished. I kid you not, the girl just vanished. Maybe she was working, but the girl just vanished for a couple episodes. She was more so like the friend of the show. And I'm like, you better get your, you better make your mark on the show. And which she did, because when she started liking Kamari, that's when we started seeing more of her. Now, I'm gonna finish more in that situation with Kamari when I start talking about Kamari. But as far as Raquel, she decided to stay in Austin. I liked her look. I just wish we would have got more in-depth personal with her. Like, what was her goal? What was her aspiration? What did she want to do? I feel like those pieces was never like fully connected with the dots. Now I got Kamari. So Kamari is 23, he is a model, and his goal in Austin is to find an agency. He already had an agency where he was from, but he wants to find one out here in Austin. He starts his show off with a very flirtatious relationship with Abby. Flirting, you know, they're very touchy feeling, real, you're not ready, you know, it's very lustful. As time go on, they entangle. Kamari was there just to have fun. He was there to keep his options open. Even the next night when they went out, I feel like he did this solely to prove that he's single. Next night they go out, he's flirting with some other girl, talking and all that. And I feel like he solely did that just to test and see like, okay, you want to be friends with benefits. How would you react if I did this? But then as the show goes on, Kamari starts having feelings and flirting with Raquel, in which Abby and Raquel are roommates. That's important. Abby said she didn't really care. I feel like she did care that they was talking. But what would have made me mad too, Raquel and Kamari, they end up like entangling, but they did like right next to like Abby's room, so Abby could hear all that. I don't care. That would have pissed me off. Like, cause that's showing me you don't have no respect for me. Like, if y'all gonna do that. Like, it's a whole nother house across the way. Do that in his room. But why y'all gotta do it right next to me? I can hear every single thing. Yeah, Abby a good one. I'm like, oh, y'all want a show? I'm gonna give y'all a show. But I do think he liked Raquel a little bit more. I think that was a little bit more genuine. I almost forgot it was a replacement because, you know, Bruce left. So then that's how we got introduced to Adam. Adam, he sells Settlers. And this is the dude that almost came between Natalie and Abby. And not much on him. Adam was cool. He got a good little job. So yeah, shout out to Adam. All right, so here are my thoughts.
I thought I knew you.
Overall, it was a great concept. I give it like a 7 out of 10. It's kind of like a new version of the real world. Like, it's cool how they got like a whole bunch of 20-somethings together to try to figure out, because like I'm 20-something and I still don't know what I'm doing. I'm 24, I quit my job to follow my dreams, and like being in your 20s is just like a time where you don't know what's going on, but you're doing the best with what you got. So I'm glad they like got them together so we can see like, okay, I'm not the only one that don't know what I'm doing in life. Now, as a viewer, this is the only thing I didn't like. I got tired of everybody trying to find love. I'm like, listen, y'all on a Netflix show in Austin to try to figure out y'all dream. Love, the significant, all that could wait. That was like your story. Like, I get it, like Kiki, who's trying to, you know, be gay. Natalie wants to develop more of a love. I get that was their storyline. But for everybody else, I'm like, y'all got real aspirations y'all want to figure out. Hey, it was kind of like a love show in a way. And I was like, I don't want them to like waste this opportunity. And I was like, it's more people beyond the casting. Like, you in Austin. If you gonna find love, like, it'll come. I can tell you real quick that Abby did what she did with Kamari, but I can't tell you what is it personally or like goal-wise that she accomplished. At least, you know, she's working at a coffee shop, but I'm pretty sure she went down to Austin for more than just that. I think Isha was the best example of going down there and making something out of opportunity, because her clothing line is now doing well. So she did what she was supposed to do going down there. But I like how they kept the show pretty much drama-free. It kind of shows like you could still do a reality TV show that's not like dramified, and you can still be interested in it. I feel like I would have been turned off if like I saw them like arguing and stuff, because like I done seen y'all built like such like a family friendship dynamic. I don't want to see y'all cussing each other out. Like, no, that's not y'all. Y'all grown. Talk this out. And I definitely think they should do a reunion. But you know how Netflix be. You know, Netflix like to wait a year later and then bring everybody together. You know, they do their reunions, a reunion. Now, for season 2, if they do a season 2, this is what I would like to see. Me. But now, for real, I would like them to try like different cities. Like 20-somethings LA, 20-somethings Atlanta, 20-somethings Boston. Like, try different cities. I don't think they should go back to Austin each time. Because at the back of my eye, I was like, is Austin the place to go to like, what is Austin, Texas? I really don't know Austin, Texas like that. And hopefully the next contestants are not just like solely like just looking for love. I want to actually see them like go from the ground up. Like, I want to see influencers. I want to see like social media people that's trying to like, it's really trying to make a brand for themselves. I want to see people who don't believe in a traditional 9-to-5 and want to do like vlogging and YouTube and stuff like that. Like, I want to see all aspects of 20-something. But yeah, that's all I got for this video. If you enjoyed it, like I said, leave a comment, thumbs this video up, comment on what other shows y'all want to see me review or talk about. Already follow me on Instagram and TikTok at @PartyNextShow_. Don't forget the underscore because you'll follow somebody else. Also, make sure you follow my cosmetic business at _ALookBeauty, giving you a look like no other. I love you guys. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.